All right, so the first one we have here is Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks, I tried this maybe once or twice. I normally try to get the new flavors that aren't there or possibly there for a limited time. Maybe just once or twice, depending on how good they are. I would definitely grab if I happen to had money to be like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and grab one. And so with Apple Jacks, I've tried it. Um, Given that I don't pick out Apple Jacks to eat when I buy cereal, I feel like me choosing Apple Jacks as a high ranking would not be because Apple Jacks is not one of my go-to cereals that I go grab in the morning or at Walmart or something like that. I would personally would not rank this S tier. It's a good flavor. It's just Apple Jacks from the jump hasn't been a real good cereal for me. It wasn't my favorite cereal, but for the sake of it's a new flavor, I had to try it, and it's not bad. It's just that Apple Jacks itself wasn't really all that to begin with. And I don't know if my palate is screwed up or anything, but I could not taste the apple nor the Jacks. I know they had the commercials where Apple was just trying to get on into the cereal and whatnot, but it always was cinnamon always winning. And so Apple ended up having to cheat. And regardless, it still ended up being the same, regardless, until they had a peace offering. They joined up together. But again, I don't really taste that. I really don't taste the apple as much. Granted, I hate apples. Well, as is, if you give me like applesauce or apple pie, fine. But trying to eat a straight up apple, not my thing. So, with that being said, Apple Jacks, I would kind of give it. I'll put it at B tier for now, or C tier for now. I'll put it at C tier for now. That might change depending on how the other flavors come out. But yeah, that's Apple Jacks. It's going to start off C tier. Not, not really what I had in mind to start, but hey, it is what it is. Up next, we have banana bread. Now, one thing about me, I love bananas. I know friends that are allergic to bananas, and to have banana bread as a flavor was like a shocker. And I was like, ooh, wait a minute, banana bread. Don't mind if I do. And so for that reason, I would have to go ahead and go B plus with it. Uh, Definitely not being biased with the B's. I'm gonna put a B tier for banana bread. It could possibly go A and S, but honestly, I did not. I felt like it was more banana bread more than banana, and honestly, based on that, I would definitely probably give it a bit more because it is what it says it is. And granted, I don't get banana bread often, but the fact that it was a banana flavored Pop-Tart definitely does something for me. I'm kind of biased, but it's my tier list, and I could always adjust it later. So that's what I got for that. I believe next is actually banana cream pie. Now, I would put banana cream pie above banana bread, but at the same time, if I feel like those two should go one and two. I don't think I've had banana cream pie enough to give this a better ranking because if I had it a bit more times, it would have probably been different. But I would definitely put this for now B tier. Definitely going to be a B tier. Speaking of B's, we have blueberry now. So I'm guessing this is all in alphabetical order, which honestly, that's fine. I am totally okay with that. The problem is I can barely see. They put whoever who made this tier list, they put the whole box on there instead of just the name. But I like this tier list because it has the option of haven't tried but want to and haven't tried but do not want. So, given that's the case, I had to choose this one because I definitely am curious about it. Blueberry is one of those ones that would not. I don't like. Let me explain this. So I do not like basic Pop Tarts that much. All my life in school, as a child, I would normally end up with the basic Pop Tarts. I'm like, I want to try something different. And there's always some kind of fluey flavor. I wanted to try something different. And so to have blueberry up here is something different. However, compared to the other fruits, blueberry was the best one out of, well, I can't even say that. Blueberry was actually a solid choice. Blueberry is actually a solid choice. I prefer blueberry over the ones like strawberry. Um, Actually, yeah, I like blueberry better than strawberry. It's when it comes to basic Pop Tarts, blueberry clears over strawberry. Just clears. So I'm definitely gonna put blueberry in B tier because I have so much respect for blueberry Pop Tarts. I remember in school they used to have the one pack in there for breakfast, and I was like, oh, it's like how they managed to have one in there instead of everywhere else. I see it's two. Eventually, they upped it to two in the cafeterias. But the oh, the best thing about Pop Tarts in cafeterias were they also were warm. They were warm. They were warm. It was almost borderline toasted. They had it in a hot hold, but not too hot. But it was like right there at that warm temperature. Granted, they wouldn't let us use toasters as kids, but Pop Tarts being warm was phenomenal, and I think that made it a lot better than if it was just a raw Pop Tart. So blueberry definitely go B tier, maybe C tier, but if that's C tier, then Apple Jacks would definitely have to be D. But I wouldn't put Apple Jacks at D because there's a few Pop Tarts I actually hate that honestly should be F tier. But for the sake of this, we're just gonna have to go with that. Boston cream pie. Now, Boston cream pie was definitely one of the newer ones that came out, and unfortunately, uh, well, there's no unfortunately about it. I actually feel like this is definitely probably up to A tier, given to the fact that how many times I went out and bought it compared to everything else. I did believe I grabbed a few because I think there was a closeout sale going on at Food Lion, and that's the big problem is finding Pop Tarts at Food Lion compared to Walmart because Food Lion is kind of uppity in price a little bit because they want you to get the 2 for $5 deal. But I know if I go to Walmart, they're like for something and change. So I'm like, there's no reason for me to be going to Food Line unless I'm finding a special Pop Tart that's not at Walmart. And that's pretty much my logic there. And so yeah, definitely gonna go A rank for Boston cream pie. Actually, that's Boston cream donut. Same difference basically. I really liked Boston cream donuts because I don't like plain donuts. I don't like when stores have the fake filled donuts where oh you look at it, oh it looks filled, but when you take a bite in it, it's just bread. It's just bread. They put all the decorations on the top. They cover the hole up. Some of them actually do that, and I was just beyond mad about that. So definitely Boston cream pie really did a number with me. Boston cream donuts, got to be up there. Got to be up there. Brown sugar cinnamon. Oh my goodness, you don't understand how much I hate this. D tier. D tier. Honestly, F tier Pop Tart because for some reason, this is everybody's favorite. And for some reason, I'm an outcast for it. The thing doesn't taste like anything but just bread. There's no filling in here. It's just sweet bread. It's just sugar. It's just sugar. That's all it is. There's no juicy. I mean, granted, it's not really supposed to be juicy, but there's not any decent filling to be like, oh, yeah, this is fulfilling. No pun intended. But yeah, it's like there's nothing in there. It's like they might as well just have a naked Pop Tart. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, D tier. Not even wasting our time with it. It's freaking ridiculous. Like I don't get it. You have all this is like the epitome of going to a new ice cream shop and picking vanilla. Out of all the new ice creams you buy, you're gonna only be able to go here once because you're gonna forget about it, and you're gonna pick vanilla. Well, if the vanilla's bad, how do you trust anything? You had one shot, and you picked the whatever. Cherry, I feel cherry is a different breed. Sometimes I like cherries, sometimes I don't. It's definitely not a strawberry, but at the same time, if you have too many of these, it does get annoying after a while. Cherry is kind of the ones where you can have it a couple of times, but I won't go out of my way to grab them. But this is definitely something I'm just like, hey, if you have too much, you'll get annoyed with it. So I can't eat 2 packs of these at a time. Well, you're not supposed to, but compared to the others, I would definitely probably chew through a box within 3 days. Have one for breakfast, 1 pack for lunch, one for dinner, one for dessert. If I'm not careful, so definitely gonna go with cherry as a C tier. Probably a bit above Apple Jacks because Apple Jacks doesn't really vibe with me. Cherry, I like cherry more because it's a different flavor where it pops, while Apple Jacks, there's nothing really to it. Now that I think about it, it's cinnamon, and I don't really taste the cinnamon. It's Apple Jacks is looking a little bit more towards the D tier, but I'll let it off the hook for now. Up next is frosted chocolate chip, I believe that it is. I think that's the technical name for it. I don't know. It's chocolate chip. And I usually have a beef with naked Pop Tarts, but this was one of the one cases where I'm like, okay, this is an exception here. And because of that, I would definitely put this towards the B tier, A tier, because it's just most of the times I have it toasted a little bit, maybe a little bit warm, but it's one of those ones where you can eat as is and you can heat up. But heating it up is amazing. I mean, granted, most of the Pop Tarts you can toast them and it'll taste a lot better. But most of the times, I'm not touching a toaster. I'm not messing with a toaster. I'm not taking extra steps to just eat the thing. Just eat it. And so, with that being in mind, if I could eat any of these Pop Tarts raw, that's good, right? If I have to do anything to make the Pop Tarts taste better, that's probably a bad Pop Tart. So that means eating it toasted. But chocolate chip goes both ways, so I can definitely eat it as is and warm. So I'll go ahead and put it A tier for now. Now for chocolate fudge is one of the ones where I feel like it's kind of annoying after a while. So I would put this a bit towards C tier because of that fact only. Uh it's really online with uh oh wait, what did I do here? It's really online with Apple Jacks where it's a bit tied. But other than that, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, it's one of those annoying after a while where I can't eat these all day, which honestly is probably a good thing. But Yeah, it's definitely one of the ones where I'm like, I don't get often, and that's another thing that decides how good of a Pop Tart it is if I go out my way to get these more often than not, if that's here. So there you go. Up next, we got sorry. Up next, we got looks like one of the Dunkin' Donuts Pop Tarts where they had a crossover, and I believe that is chocolate mocha. I'm not fully sure. I don't know. Let me make sure there's not another one. I think I only had this once. I don't think I was buying Pop Tarts like that, but I felt like this is more along the lines of maybe chocolate fudge. I'm not sure. I don't want to give it too much of a harsh criticism over it because I think I only had this Pop Tart once. And I think because of that, I don't know if this is out when I was an adult, but when I was a child, maybe I had one. Maybe my parents let me have it. But other than that, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm gonna put it in C tier because I only had it once. I think I only had it the one time. I'll put it above. I'll actually put it above cherry because it's a well, like it says, it's a limited edition Pop Tart, and I felt like given that, and then only had it once, it was like, well, I can't really give it a bad opinion on it, but I can't really give it a good opinion on it that left a lasting impression. So that's where we are with that. Okay, so the next one I gotta see here. Oh, chocolatey churro. I think I did have churro maybe once, but honestly, I don't I don't think I've actually tried it. Uh, yeah, I think I definitely I don't think I really tried it. So I'm gonna put it right here. Again, it's another chocolate one, and honestly, it kind of feels like it's a hybrid between the brown sugar cinnamon and chocolate, so it's like a little compromise it's trying to give to me. But unfortunately, with my already I've had churros before, unfortunately, and they kind of weren't it as is. And maybe the chocolate filling maybe would have saved it, but right now it's just like I'm really not sure. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and say uh I'm definitely gonna say no. I'm probably gonna be about that. But I'll give it a shot. That's the thing. I would definitely give it a shot. There's not a lot of Pop Tarts where I would be like, absolutely not. I already know how this is gonna taste. But this one, I could definitely be like, yeah, I can definitely go ahead and try it at least once. Maybe it could change my mind, but definitely yes. Up next is chocolate strawberry. Now, I feel like this, because it's limited edition, I have to be considerate. Well, it's chocolate strawberry. I think this was either before or after the peanut butter Pop Tarts. And I believe this was actually before, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, why don't you go ahead and make the peanut butter and jelly ones? And I was like, but I don't know. This one's more I feel like this is C tier. I only had it once, but at the same time, I feel like it would be B or C. It would either be B or C tier. Because at one point it was good. It was good, but at the same time, after a while, it would the taste would kind of get a little bit sticky, and it just wasn't it. I like this over the regular strawberry chocolate. Sorry, the regular strawberry, and definitely over the chocolate fudge. It's just sometimes with the chocolate breading, definitely doesn't take a hit. It doesn't hit as well, and so I'm just like, yeah, we're on the fence on this one. Um, I'm flipping back and forth between the mocha ones, and I feel like the chocolate strawberry was a good take on it because I don't think I've seen that done, and I wish it came back so I could give it another run. And so because of that, yeah, I'm gonna do high C on this one. But other than that, yeah. Up next is cinnamon roll. This one I've been kind of avoiding. I felt like I tried it once, and honestly, it kind of feels like it's in the same aspect of both the chocolate chip ones, but at the same time, it's also in that same category as the brown sugar cinnamon. So it kind of feels weird putting them on like both ends of the spectrum here. But at the same time, this one feels a lot more of an actual cinnamon feel. The breading feels good about it. Um, it's one of the rare cases where I don't mind a basically naked Pop Tart. So definitely gonna have to put this one a little bit higher. Definitely not D tier, but honestly, I feel like this is kind of a B tier Pop Tart. Definitely a B tier Pop Tart. I'm probably going to put this actually. I'll I'll put this right here in front of Blueberry. Blueberry definitely is a classic that I'm okay with. I'm not trying to ride classics because it's a classic. I definitely have good feelings about Blueberry, but the cinnamon roll actually made me reconsider considering hating the flavor of cinnamon for sure. Because I definitely look at sometimes the cinnamon roll as like, oh, it's just a glorified version of the brown sugar cinnamon. It's just a naked version of the brown sugar cinnamon. But I give it respect here because it just it tastes a lot different. It doesn't taste boring as much as the brown sugar cinnamon. And because I'm saying that, I feel like that I should put it C tier. But I'm like, no, this definitely does taste a bit better. You know, and I could probably grab this more than these. But I don't know. I feel like I'm a bit on the fence because again, blueberry, I don't go out my way for blueberry, but blueberry is definitely one where I'm like, yo, if I'm offered it, I would be like, yeah, sure, I can definitely take that. Cinnamon roll, yeah, I can definitely take a cinnamon roll. As long as somebody's, this is one of those things where I'm like, oh, you know how people would talk about, oh, I would get mad if I look at a cookie thinking it's chocolate chip and it's raisin. And I'm like, how do you not see that? This is something different. Okay. If somebody says, oh, they got me a cinnamon roll Pop Tart and it's brown sugar, I would be mad. But if they got me a brown sugar cinnamon, they said, "Oh, I got a brown sugar cinnamon," and it was actually a cinnamon roll. I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, but like again, it's a Pop Tart. I wouldn't necessarily turn it down if that was the only thing I had, but I would rather be surprised if it was cinnamon roll instead of brown sugar cinnamon. So there we go. Up next is the confetti cupcake. I believe there was actually two flavors of it, actually, and I actually don't see. I think there was a chocolate version of it where the confetti cupcake was actually just a birthday cake or something like that. Um, honestly, I was very disappointed on how this tasted because I guess I don't like cake batter. Like regular cake batter doesn't really do well for me, and so it's right on that field of Apple Jacks, honestly. However, there was one time I went to Krispy Kreme and got me a cake batter donut, and it wasn't too bad. It was just now thinking about the confetti cupcake. Yeah, the cup. I'd rather have the donut than the Pop Tart, honestly. Up next is cookies and cream. Uh, honestly, surprising enough, well, not really surprisingly, I would definitely put this right around B range, if not more. I probably put this. Hmm. Probably mid B, because cookies and cream is definitely a refreshing flavor. I don't get it often because once you get it often, you could start predicting the taste, and it's basically an Oreo. All right, let's admit it. It's basically an Oreo. I will say there's times where I put some milk in it. I dip some milk in it, and basically there goes the rule of where I have to modify it, then yeah, I would definitely have to say you probably did a bad job. But cookies and cream is one of those exceptions to the rule. Um, but at the same, because I literally do that once I'm bored with eating it so much. So like if I ended up with a 16 pack because they don't have any of the new flavors and I really wanted a Pop Tart, I'm like, fine. The first one I'll eat regular. The second one I eat regular. Then I'm like, okay, I'm getting bored. Maybe I'll warm it up, but I don't think having it warm would hit as much. But dipping it in cold water, not cold water, gosh, no, having it in milk, pretty good. Definitely pretty good right there. And eating it as a cereal, absolutely. So, uh, B rank because you can definitely get creative with it. It's not required unless you eat it too much. So I think that's a big thing there. Matter of fact, I might move this above the bananas just because of that, because you can't really do that with anything else but this one. And I think this is one of those rare occasions where, like, yeah, you can do something fancy with it and it doesn't hurt its grade. So definitely cookies and cream for there. Up next is I think green apples. Now, I don't normally like apples, but green apple was a decent addition. But at the same time, I'm actually going to put this above cherry. It was a refreshing change. It made me not hate apples as much, but it's still on that little realm of like I'm not going out my way for it, and you can't have too much of it, otherwise you'll be annoyed. And yeah, that's basically it for that. The Eggo wa- the Eggo waffle Pop Tarts. Ooh, I had hopes for this one. I really had hopes for it. I got it a couple of times. I think I had to warm it up once. Tried even putting syrup on it, but unfortunately, uh, I think I'm afraid because it's just bread anyway. It's got to be D tier. I would actually put this C tier because it's basically in the C tier category, but because of the fact it's bread, like the waffle itself is bread, and the only thing saving it is the syrup, and there's not enough syrup on it. Like I would have to put syrup on it, and that's a mess. And I don't know. I definitely a a big disappointment there. Sorry. Fruit Loops and Pop Tarts. That right there was, I think, a better game changer than Apple Jacks. I definitely got this a lot more than Apple Jacks. I definitely uh put milk in it for sure. Um, but to be creative with it, and I think they did have a little design on there, but there's no real buts about it. I mean, it's all the Fruit Loops. There's no actual flavor to each of the loops. But you kind of get a hint of, like, you kind of get the illusion of there's supposed to be one, but it's just all one flavor. Um, the creative idea behind it is great. Um, I definitely feel like this is one of those rare exceptions because it's a cereal one, and I can't do the same thing with Apple Jacks to be like, oh yeah, let me put milk on it, see if it tastes better. This one out the box tastes good, and adding milk to it is not required, but it's a fun little addition. So because of that, I'm putting it B tier. It's right around that cookies and cream aspect. So I'm definitely gonna do something right there. Now, This one right here, I think, is gingerbread, and unfortunately, I don't think I tried it enough to be like, "Oh, yeah, definitely this." But unfortunately, I don't think I've actually tried now that I think about it, I don't think I've actually tried it because I keep thinking it was the sugar cookie one, and the sugar cookie one, I definitely do not like. So, that almost made me alter my decision right there. Because if this is the sugar cookie one, D tier, because I hate sugar cookies. There's nothing both renditions of it. I actually hate the frosted sugar cookies where they have a little frosting on there. I actually hate those more than the regular naked sugar cookies. Like, because those taste like bread. The regular sugar cookies, it tastes like bread, but it's honest about it. Adding the frosting on there and it still tastes like bread is just false advertisement to me. So definitely horrible. But this looks like it says gingerbread, so I'm gonna be haven't tried but want to just for the one time. I hope it's not in a 12 pack or 16 pack box because if I end up not liking it, that would be a horrible waste of $4. Like if it was two, fine, but four, you're pushing it. Grape. Grape here. I feel like grape is definitely one I don't get often, but I feel like I should at least a couple more times. Like if grape existed around the time the peanut butter ones existed, oh my goodness, I would have definitely would have been buying one of each box and mushing them together. But I think grape is one of the newer ones of the starting lineup that they started to bring out, but it's not considered new for some reason. But I would definitely put this in B tier because it's a refreshing change from the starting normal default ones. And I put it in front of blueberry because it tastes different immediately. With blueberry, you know it's gonna taste blueberry, but switch a grape in there, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It doesn't have a predictable taste because I don't get it often, but it's considered a classic apparently, but I don't feel it. Let's see. The simply ones I haven't tried uh as much. I will give this one a shot. The simply strawberry one. It's definitely uh I don't know. I don't know. This was more on the back end because it's strawberry and I already don't like strawberry. So this one has to really work hard to change my mind on. But unfortunately, I think that's a limited edition one. Plus, I feel like they nerfed the flavor on strawberry with the Simply box. Like I feel like, oh, and maybe that might have saved it. Maybe that definitely would save it. But right now, I'm just like, I'm not really sure on that. So we're gonna have to let that one slide. We're gonna let it be on the want to side. Now, this one right here, this Pop Tart, legendary, legendary. It is old milk, Hall of Fame milk, legendary. Ice cream sundae. This one I'm guaranteeing S tier. Even if I get annoyed with it once, S tier Pop Tart. I believe this and the strawberry milkshake one, they had the abominable snowman where it's like, oh, you could freeze them and it still tastes good. You could eat it raw. You could warm it up. You can do literally all three. Put it in milk. You can do anything. You have options with this, and it's not bad. You can have fun with it. Okay. You can definitely have fun with that. And honestly, chocolate chip basically motivating me to put this up the S tier too. But yeah, hot fudge sundae, perfect. One of the best Pop Tarts. One of the basic. It's not even though it would be considered a classic, it doesn't feel like it because I feel like the chocolate or other ones, if it's not fruit based feels like it's more of a classic. This should definitely be a classic that I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely okay with. Totally. I definitely feel like I'm okay with. So, like, definitely big time, right? Definitely big time on it. Now, the next three are the Jolly Rancher ones. Um, I given I don't know. I don't really go out my way to get Jolly Ranchers. I'm not a big fan of the candy stuff. So I think one of them is watermelon, and I think this one's the watermelon one. I'm trying to laser in and Hawkeye it right now, but out of these three, I definitely feel like they would be a bit too sweet for me. So unfortunately, I'm gonna put them all right here. Sorry. Um, because I like what done it for me was the fact that when we get to it later, there's the ones that were too sweet. I'm just looking at it right now, and it feels like it's gonna be a bit too sweet. And I don't already don't like the candy already. So passing on these three, I'll maybe try one, but I don't want to buy the whole box just to try one. I will try one a piece, and that's about it. But I'm not eating the whole box, even if it's just the 8 pack for this. So I'm sorry. Now, lemon cream pie. Unfortunately, I never really like. I'll eat lemon cream pie. I'll eat the cracker sandwiches if that was the only thing in the break room out of the few, because the break room uh they have these sandwich crackers. They're like three flavors of peanut butter crackers, where you got the Neacock ones, you got the orange ones, which the toast cheese ones I absolutely hate, and then the Ritz cracker looking ones. And I'm like, what's the point of having all three the peanut butter flavors when you can go to the store and either whether it be Food Lion or Walmart, and you can have whatever. It just makes more sense to just be like, yeah, let me. But I digress. The lemon, not really a big fan of. D tier. D tier. Better than Eggo because at least I know there's flavor, but still D tier. I'm sorry. Now, this one right here, I can't really tell what that is. What is this? I cannot tell what that is. Oh, that looks like frozen hot chocolate. Okay. I definitely feel like I missed the mark on that. I definitely feel like I missed it. Um, definitely up here, higher on the want to try list because um I did like chocolate. I must have missed this. I must have missed it. Maybe they didn't have it in the stores I had, but yeah, I definitely missed out on that. I'm really upset about it. Uh, hopefully there's a return in the summer, maybe the winter. I don't know, but yeah, definitely gonna go with that. Now, I tried this one. This is the orange crush soda Pop Tarts, and you know who probably would love this? Kel, but I'm Freddy, and I've tried it. Didn't like it. D tier. Actually, brown sugar cinnamon. You're actually getting an upgrade. As much as I hate brown sugar cinnamon, orange crush was awful. Only because it was too sweet. It was too much sugar. It tasted straight sugar. Like I really wanted to get the concept to try it because like, I kinda like orange soda, but at the same time, I don't really like orange soda like that. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably definitely F tier. Like, I only put brown sugar that bad, but this is actually worse. This is definitely actually worse. I just don't like how people are glazing this, and it's a boring Pop Tart. This one will makes me respect brown sugar cinnamon a little bit more because this one tried too hard. It had too much sugar. And need I say more? The Simply Green Apple. I don't want. I don't. I will try one, but honestly, I'm not a big fan. I'm definitely not a big fan, and I definitely it just I don't feel like it's gonna be the same. And the same thing with the Harvest Strawberry, because this one says Harvest Strawberry. I can barely read what this says. So this one would have to extremely try hard to make me be like, okay, if I were to put it on a rank, where would I put it? Would it still be in the C's or would this be a high D tier? But I definitely would yeah, definitely not a go out my way to get. I'll see if it's in the store and maybe if maybe I'll try one if that ends up being in the stores, but I know I went to my Walmart, I didn't see it, so if I don't see it, I don't see it. Now, this right here, this Pop Tart was a dream come true. I imagined having peanut butter and jelly Pop Tarts for a while, and they started with the peanut butter series where it was just peanut butter, and then they finally added the strawberry filling in there, and I was like, "Yes! Yes!" And, yeah, I definitely have high praise for this. I definitely give it A tier. Definitely give it A tier. Um, Probably would give it S tier, but if the other peanut butter ones are up here, I would definitely put, those over this one. Well, no, if the other peanut butter ones were in there, I would definitely, drop this one. Uh, this one would stay the same, but the other ones would be back here because I totally feel like this one beats out the original, but maybe not the chocolate peanut butter. I think chocolate peanut butter would be front. PB&J strawberry would probably be on top of each other because I always prefer strawberry jelly over grape. So there you go with that. Now, this one I think is peach cobbler. I think I had this once, and because I don't like peach, actually no, I don't think I've actually tried this one. I think I gave yeah, this one's definitely a not want, but I will try this one over the Jolly Ranchers. Matter of fact, I will actually move the apples up because I will try this. I'd rather try the apple over the peach cobbler. I'm not a big fan. Like I ate peaches as a side in school, and it wasn't my favorite, but it was better than a lot of the other fruits that um not better than pears, but I definitely wasn't a big fan of peaches like that. Now, this one right here, pretzel, I definitely want to give it some kind of a S tier ranking, despite it basically being naked. Uh I did really enjoy these. For some reason, it didn't feel like there was a lot going in there, but I think despite that, solid Pop Tart. Like I don't have any complaints. Maybe I'll drop it down to A. Maybe I'll drop it down to A. I'll think about it, but if I don't come back around to it, I'll definitely it will just stay at A. Definitely an A rank Pop Tart for sure. Higher than peanut butter and jelly. Uh, but yeah, good solid one. Surprisingly, it's better than the peanut butter and jelly. That's the thing. This one's like one of the ones where it could really have no flavor, but they actually tried with the breading on this one too, And that's a key thing here was like, oh, the breading actually is the thing that matters the most. And because most of them are like kind of boring, this one is like, okay, we really tried something with the breading here. So that way it felt a little bit more. Plus, it had, I think it was one of the few that featured salt. And so it was definitely a refreshing change. And that's one of the ones that was like, all right, let me take a step back. It's a salt based Pop Tart, but it tastes good. So I think because of that being a refreshing taste where I can be like, yo, I can have this more and it's not really predictive. Like I can think about the cherry Pop Tarts and I will already taste it and I'm like, I'm really annoyed with it. But this one is like, oh, this is a different taste than what's normal. Let me go ahead and grab that. So definitely gonna go choose here. Now I think this is the pumpkin pie one. Yes, this is the pumpkin pie. I can see the little pumpkin pie here. I really like pumpkin pie. And with that being said, after having these, I'm kind of disappointed in it, but I would give it a better grade than chocolate fudge. C tier, but um if it had more filling inside, because I think all it is just a random pool. Maybe some have a good amount of filling in it, some don't. If it had a bit more filling of pumpkin in there instead of bread, which I think they did alter the breading on this to give it that little pumpkin crust taste. But unfortunately, I felt like the ones I had did not have a lot of filling. It was more bread than anything else. So unfortunately, that's where that's gonna have to go. Up next is frosted raspberry. Raspberry is actually a good solid one. Definitely a refreshing change from the other fruits. I would actually put this in the B category in front of grape because I don't know, something about raspberry definitely is a lot more of a refreshing change. Grape can get more predictable. Blueberry is definitely predictable, but it's one of those classics where I'm like, yeah, but grape and raspberry definitely a refreshing change, but raspberry is more of a yo. I can definitely, if I were to pick a fruit pop tart, this one would be probably one of the higher rankings over grape and blueberry. So that's where I am at. That's where I am at that. Up next is red velvet cupcake. Now I love red velvet, but really I just love cream cheese, and that combo of red velvet and cream cheese is one of the ones that I see often. And so I'm like, yo, I got to. I definitely got to try it. I'm definitely gonna put this B tier. Really, it could be A tier, but the problem is, I didn't really get a lot of cream cheese the last few times I had it. I'll still get it for the hope that it changes. I don't get enough. This one can definitely fall under C tier, but I really do like the red velvet cupcake. It's just I kind of want to move this ahead of the fruit ones, but I just feel like I'm a bit disappointed when it comes to these compared to the fruit ones because I don't know. I definitely put this in B. We'll hold off on making it final, but other than that, I'm like, yeah, I definitely feel like it's a B tier Pop Tart. I wish the cream cheese was more noticeable, but yeah, that's where I am. Up next, we have another soda edition Pop Tart, and this one's root beer. Root beer, I definitely feel like I'm not sure how many times I tried it. I think I did try it one box, and I think because I only had the one box, should tell you how much I liked it. I definitely want to put it uh D tier, but not as high as the orange soda. Because root beer still got that little kick where I'm like, yo, I can probably override the extreme flavor of sugar, but I feel like it's not as severe as the crush. And actually, I'm gonna drop it down. Maybe I'll try the Eggo over the root beer. I don't feel like there's enough root beer flavor. I think the sugar overridden the root beer uh, power to it to make me enjoy the root beer part. So that's where I am with that. So yeah. Up next is s'mores, and I gotta say, it looks bland at the front, but inside, oh my goodness. This is definitely one of those S tier Pop Tarts, surprisingly, because I don't get it often, but I have so much respect for the s'mores because it doesn't feel like a one trick pony where uh most of the other ones are definitely do have, oh, it's just a one flavor inside. This one definitely feels like there's more to it. If the s'mores breading was a bit more graham crackery, I think it would have been the top, one of my personal favorites. I think it would have been over ice cream sundae. And that's my only thing about it. I think that's where I am. So good one. Definitely an S tier Pop Tart. Really happy for it. I may not go out of my way to get these because it's one of the regulars, but I know if I pulled a random s'mores Pop Tart out of a blind bag, I would definitely would be excited. Up next is Snickerdoodle. It's one of the Snickerdoodle is one of those ones where it's newer. I don't see it often. I think I only see this at Food Lion. Um, I kind of give it C tier, but high C. I don't really feel like it's much there. I give it its respect though, but I don't feel like there's enough going on with Snickerdoodle because I don't normally go out of my way. I'll try it once, but it'd be one of the cases where I would have to go through an entire Pop Tart box to see if there's any actual flavors there. And I just don't see it. I just don't see it enough to I don't see the flavor enough to be like, yeah, let me go ahead pick this one out. So that's where we are. Strawberry. I know I hate brown sugar and strawberry because of how boring it is. But honestly, if I'm being real here, I definitely feel like it would definitely it's such a safe choice. It's definitely a safe choice. It's just that I definitely feel like I would not go out of my way to pick a strawberry because of how disappointed I am with it. Like if it had more of a surprising wow every time, then yeah, but most of the time it's just a safe Pop Tart and I'll eat through a whole box and then feel ashamed after it. And so I'm like I don't feel like I'm getting it's a safe Pop Tart, but it's just like how do I explain this? It's a Pop Tart you get addicted to looking for the high of a Pop Tart. You're just searching for a high that's never there because of how safe of a Pop Tart it is. And that's honestly probably the best way to go about it. Like it's like when you're playing golf and you're looking for that one shot that keeps you going. and you don't find it in your bag. You don't find that shot in all 18 holes. It's still a good, safe Pop Tart. It's just because I don't find that high of, man, this is a real fun Pop Tart. That's where I am about it. Like, I would have to toast it to get something, and it's still not enough to be like, yeah, I really want to go grab a strawberry Pop Tart. Surprisingly, it beats out a lot of them, but it's just too much of a safe answer to where, like, yeah, it's definitely in the middle of the road. And that's where I'm at with that. Now, this Pop Tart right here, though, strawberry milkshake, I definitely put down as one of my favorites of all time. I know that the quality probably dropped down a bit, but I'm telling you something about those ice cream ones. And this one was definitely another one where it was like, oh yeah, you could freeze them, you could heat them up, you could eat them raw. No matter what, it's just the aesthetic, the taste, the options. I could go either way, and it's okay. Like, this is one of the ones where it's an exception to that. If I have to modify it, it's probably a bad one. This one is definitely not the case. This one's definitely one where it's like, yo, I want to try it all, and that's what I normally do. I'll put one in frozen, I'll put one toasted, I'll eat one raw once as soon as I'm done with the checkout. I'm in my car. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. This one is, I think the this one's definitely the winter sugar cookie ones for whenever it's wintertime. I already said what I said. Haven't tried, don't want to. D tier anyway. Moving on. Tropical mango. I think I tried this once, and I can't give you a solid opinion on it, but I definitely feel like it's high C only because it's a refreshing change, but I think I only tried this once and then it disappeared. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I could run it back, but this is definitely one where it's like, yo, it could definitely be C tier. Definitely. Matter of fact, this could be one where it's like, yeah, I haven't tried, but I definitely do want. I'll put this. This is definitely one of the higher fruit versions that I'm like, yo, I could definitely give it a shot. Up next are the naked Pop Tarts. They're all D tier. D tier. Honestly, actually, I'll have these up. Oh, sorry. I'll have these up at more of a high D, only because of the fact they're not adding that. Because I get it, there's less sugar on this, but I never liked the aesthetic of naked Pop Tarts, with the exception of the ones higher up on the list. These three were like the school trauma of Pop Tarts, because sometimes you got the frosted ones, sometimes you got the naked ones, and the naked ones, when you open them up, you're like, oh, it's just the aesthetic about them. Just pulling one of these three just really made you sad for me, and like, yeah, but honestly, they definitely do taste better, surprisingly, than the blueberry. Well, I wouldn't say that. Blueberry here is a classic, but just the aesthetic of these three, definitely D tier, and that's where I'm at with that. Limited edition vanilla latte. I don't think I've tried this one. I'm gonna put this one up here. But yeah, watermelon. Despite the whatever jokes you may have, um, I actually like this one because I normally don't like watermelons because I didn't don't like the actual taste because it doesn't taste like artificial watermelon because I like that flavor compared to the flavor that we actually get. This one's not bad. I will definitely give this B tier. Um, Definitely a interesting exotic flavor. So I'll definitely put that there. I think this is, but it's not as high as the other limited edition flavors, but definitely B tier. And last and not least, a classic that I don't get often, but honestly, I mess with a lot. Wild Berry. Wild Berry has been there. Wild Berry, I remember uh putting getting a few of those when I was at my grandmother's house, and I love going to my grandmother's house. Uh, Definitely one of my go-to straw. Sorry, definitely one of my favorite starter Pop Tarts. There, look like they disappeared for a bit, but just the purple and blue, the aesthetic, all of that, definitely something I really enjoy, and I probably would get soon. I mean, I know there's a couple of priorities up here, but it's definitely one of those classics where I'm like, hey, I am totally okay with. I'm definitely totally okay with. So, yeah, that's my list. I'm done. Surprisingly, wow. If you hold on a second. And so, yeah, I'm done. That was an crazy list here. I really enjoyed talking about this. This is my childhood here. Uh, and then me as an adult buying Pop Tarts. Uh, I know I do have this pack here, and I don't know if I'm gonna eat them all. Of course, not in one sitting. Good gracious, no. Especially if they're the ones I don't really like. But yeah, thank you so much for everybody for coming out to this video. If y'all like this, make sure y'all leave a like, comment below about your favorite Pop Tarts and why it should not be brown sugar, cinnamon, or strawberry. Um, so actually, comment below what's your favorite Pop Tart and why is it not strawberry and brown sugar cinnamon? Actually, no. Comment below what's your favorite flavor of Pop Tart and you can't say strawberry or brown sugar cinnamon. I am so tired of hearing about brown sugar cinnamon and strawberry being your favorite. They're your safe Pop Tarts, okay? And I know that you got to have a better flavor than those two. I'm sorry. Y'all could dislike the video for me having that, but I'm sorry. It's just too safe and too boring for me. So, like, you got to, like, you I feel like I have a good tier list here, so nobody can tell me anything about it. But yeah, comment below what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, dislike the video, whatever. Thank y'all so much for coming out. And as always, I'm Freddie J. Y'all have a good day and a better tomorrow. Until next time, we'll see ya.